Welcome to the Larry Timko podcast. It's June 19th, 2020. I'm here with Bill Siebert, my awesome co-host, and here we are, another day, and it doesn't look like baseball season is going to start anytime soon. In fact, the Toronto Blue Jays closed their spring training facility in Dunedin. The Giants just closed theirs due to COVID-19 concerns. Philadelphia Phillies, I'm not going to say a bunch, but a few of their players have also contracted the disease. So I'm looking around the landscape right now, and now if just announced, Major League Players Association and MLB are talking about new restrictions for their spring training facilities. I don't think it's going to happen. Bill, I'm looking around right now. I'm seeing these players on the field. They've been sequestered basically like a jury into hotel rooms. They're not allowed to contact anybody outside of their family, and yet they're still getting caught with COVID-19.
Like you said to me earlier, it's like they're catching it from the field. I don't get it.
I don't get it.
To be honest with you, it's crazy. And right now it's looking like we're not going to have any sports going on. I mean, this could affect everything. Dr. Fauci, I thought he was full of it yesterday, but he might be right on about everything he said. Who knows? At this point, because I say who knows because it literally has been the strangest virus I've ever seen in my life with the way this thing is acting. It's almost like it's mutating into something else. I don't know. I'm not a doctor. Maybe It is.
That's why I'm not going to politicize this. I know I'm going to wear the mask, even though people think I'm crazy for wearing the mask. Why are you doing that? It's not going to solve anything. I don't know that. I don't know that.
I get it everywhere.
Yeah,
and it's crazy to me that you're not wearing one. And it just and because I'll just say this: I wear a mask everywhere I go, and it's not because it is to protect myself, but it's mainly to protect other people, especially the people that are around me that I care about. I don't want to bring a disease home to them. You know, and the other thing is I don't want to give it to anybody that I happen to run into if I'm at the grocery store or if I'm somewhere where there's a lot of people at. If I have to go anywhere where there's a lot of people at. Now, if I have to go into a convenience store or something, there's nobody in there. Different story. I might just walk in and out, but 9 out of 10 times I got my mask on, and it's because I don't want to give it to other people.
Look what's happening now in sports. Okay, so a couple of Blue Jays players get the COVID-19. They shut down the entire facility in Dunedin.
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's say it's the regular season. You know, all of a sudden a player gets sick. Are they going to shut down the entire team? Or what are they going to do? Do they have to forfeit the season? Are they going to shut down their entire facility?
I don't know. And that could be the reason why you say we might not have it.
I just don't see it happen. I for many reasons, I don't see a season happening. One, because the players and the owners can't agree on anything.
I think that will get done. They've at least agreed in principle that they're going to pay the players for the games. They just have to figure it out. Mm-hmm. And from what I'm hearing, that's the big thing. They're trying to figure it out. Mm-hmm. And like I said, if they do go through the season, I still think it'll be like 60 games, 65 games, something like that, to be honest with you. But the players will get paid for all the games they play, and that's what they want.
Yep. Well, I tell you, man, I'm a history buff too, and I love sports, but I feel like this is like the end of civilization because you look at the Greek civilization, they stopped with the Olympics and the Greek games, end of their Greek civilization. You look at the Romans, end of the Colosseum, no more games in the Colosseum, end of the Roman civilization. Now we're not going to have games in the NFL? Yeah. That's our Colosseum, man.
You're telling me this, and I'm a Bucs fan, and we just got Tom Brady, and you're telling me we're not going to have a season, and that might be, I'll be honest with you, that might be half the reason why I'm so mad about it too, to be honest with you, because the Bucs have such high expectations. You know, I'm talking to friends of mine on Facebook and whatnot about, teams, and he didn't name the Bucs as one of the top teams. I'm like, hey, you forgot about Tampa Bay, man.
Yeah, right.
Tom Brady's going to make us one of the top teams in the NFC.
He did comment back. He did clap back and say 9-7.
10-6 at least, I'm saying. But that's close. Plays at least you're halfway.
But I'm telling you, I'm angry and bitter about baseball. Yeah. I'm still hopeful there might be some semblance of basketball. But if there's no football season this year, that's going to just drive a lot of people crazy. Because
you see what I'm pointing.
Yeah. Hockey, we forget all about hockey, too.
The Lightning just shut down their facilities today.
But football's like on a whole nother level, man.
Oh, I know. But I'm saying, can I at least have hockey? I mean, if not, then at least we get the cup for another year. But that's not the way I want it.
Yep.
I want to see my boys go out and earn it again. I'll be honest with you. I think they'd have a damn good chance of doing it.
Maybe. I don't know.
The Blues were rolling, man. I mean, until this damn virus hit, the Blues were really they were on track to do it again. They really, at least to get back to where they were last year.
Yeah.
And that's, to me, they were on their way.
Yeah, but as far as baseball is concerned, I mean, these pitchers, they're not ready.
No,
the hitting, the timing's not going to be there.
I'll be
honest.
If
these guys do start and do a half season, you're going to see some monster numbers from really bad players, and you're going to see pathetic numbers from really good players.
You want to know what worries me? You want to know what worries me more than anything about this whole season right now? About everything about it? You're going to see a lot of injuries.
Oh yeah, probably.
You could see a lot of big time injuries to big time players. Is what I'm getting at. And you could see your superstars your favorite players that you love to watch. Out for the year because they blow a leg, blow a hamstring or something.
And I don't expect anybody to throw 100 pitches until the playoffs.
Oh, no.
If there is a playoffs.
And there's supposed to be extended playoffs, so who knows if they'll even do it then at that point. It might have to wait till the World Series to see somebody throw 100 pitches if somebody does it.
Possibly.
Maybe the championship series.
Yeah.
Maybe.
But right now, I look at all the unrest going around in the country right now. All right. First of all, if they do a baseball season, they're going to have to do it like a Cactus League or a Florida League, or they're going to have to all be confined to one state.
Yeah.
All right, just because of all the civil unrest that's going around in all these major cities. Could you imagine the Seattle Mariners having to play a game tonight?
From what I'm hearing, Florida was supposed to be up in the running for one of those states for baseball.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and basketball.
Disney World offered their facilities for anybody to come play there, for any of the teams to come play there.
But I just look at all the civil unrest. Could you imagine if the Seattle Mariners had a game tonight?
Oh, God,
It'd just be crazy. They'd have to cancel the game because of all the civil unrest that's going on there. I mean, probably Kansas City, too.
It's crazy to me with everything that's going on. I'll be honest with you. I'm thankful that I'm at least personally in the position that I'm in. Like you said, I'm working 2 jobs and whatnot. At least I'm thankful for that. I'll be honest with you. But other than that, this world's a mess. I mean, my life since the virus has been completely turned upside down. I'm working twice as hard now than I did before to make the same amount of money, man.
That's crazy.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it's really been difficult. Yeah. And I can't imagine what it's been like for people that aren't working, that aren't getting the income that they were before and whatnot. And these baseball players and athletes, you could put them in that realm of. I mean, I know that they have money, but for the most part, some like we just talked about before we came on air, over half the league in football, which is a big reason why you're hearing a lot about the social injustice and whatnot, and why the players might actually protest because of that. I mean, we haven't even delved into that yet, but most of the players in football make the league minimum.
Yeah,
and that's a fact. And it's like those are the people in that world that are suffering. All the thousands of minor league players that just got cut. Those are the players that are really in trouble right now. And and those are the guys I really feel for more than the professional guys like the Trouts and the Harpers and all those.
Baseball players make a hell of a lot more money than football players do. There's a lot more millionaires in baseball than there is in football.
Yeah, they do.
That's why when you see like baseball, like Albert Pujols, he's going to cover the salaries of furloughed employees in the Dominican Republic. He can afford to do that.
He can afford to do that.
Maybe a handful of football players can actually do that.
Yeah, You're right.
It's a whole different landscape too.
And it's funny because you would think football makes a heck of a lot more money than baseball, doesn't it? With revenue. The NFL to the MLB. I mean, you would think.
I would think the NFL makes $1 billion more than Major League Baseball.
That's what I'm saying. So many more people watch it. I mean, to me, it would just. It's crazy to me that the football players don't make as much as they do, and they are due for a raise. There's a lot of things going on that are due for a change around in the country. Just a lot of things in general, and that's one of the things right there you could say. You could really put your finger on it, and it's not a racial thing or anything. It's a player that you could say it's an injustice to the players and to the owners.
What is Korea doing differently than we are doing? Because Korean baseball seems to be thriving right now. They're not playing with fans in the stands,
and they're not getting any,
and they're not getting sick.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's the crazy thing about it.
I think
I don't know. I think
they're doing a better job with the population control with the virus. Is what I think. People actually listen to their government and are staying quarantined. They don't have a flip flopper telling you, "Hey, no, the virus is fake." When it's killing people. I think that's the difference, and that's why their sports is thriving right now.
Yeah,
and I hate to say it, and I don't want to get political, but I just feel like if it wasn't for a certain dear leader, we'd have a different situation in the sports landscape.
Well, it's not only just the leader. There's a number of other people that say the same thing. I mean, just for an example, I heard Elon Musk talking about it like it was nothing.
Yeah,
he doesn't believe that it's a real virus. I'm like, dude, you got to be kidding me! You're one of the smartest men on the planet.
He went to war with California over keeping his Tesla plant open.
Yeah, I can't get over all that.
Yeah,
it's just, so all the political stuff is fouling with all this because this is like we talked about. It's a worldwide pandemic, and people's lives, like I just said about mine, people's lives have been turned upside down because of this thing.
But how it's affecting the sports world is just crazy, and it's a trickle down effect here.
Well,
and like I said, if we don't have football, it's going to be crazy.
Well, getting back to that, like
you think the riots are bad now? Wait, what if they don't have football? Yeah. It's going to be really bad,
especially in Tampa.
Oh,
God.
And I think that's a culmination. That's a whole other subject, but I think it's just a culmination of everybody.
About how are these players catching this virus, though? That's the mystery of wrapped up in the riddle of this whole thing. They're already being quarantined. Are they going out and we don't know it? I mean.
That's a great question.
I don't know, man. I mean, are the coaches going out and coming back and bringing it in? Maybe. I don't know how are they not testing properly.
Here's the latest out of the Philadelphia Inquirer that the outbreak has spread to multiple family members of the 5 players and 3 staff members of the team. Doesn't say who,
but to the family members, not
the 5 players and their family members, and it was at Clearwater. So we got that one, and then you got the Blue Jays, who actually just shut down their facility because of one person, and then the Giants. This story just came across the board that the Giants have shut down their spring training facility over COVID concerns. Two individuals came back with negative. Oh wait, if it's negative, then why would they? I don't get that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Hopefully the test on 2 more individuals come back negative is what it says.
Hopefully, okay.
But one person in the facility and one family member exhibited mild symptoms, so they didn't even take any chance. They just shut it down. Yeah. Not taking any chances. So
yeah, they're not messing around.
Yeah,
with
that's what I'm saying though.
Sure.
This is minor. This is a minor COVID.
And like you brought up,
and they shut down the facility over one minor.
And like
incident.
You brought up off the air, what happens? What happens if we start the season and this happens to the Seattle Mariners just say in the middle of the season, what are they going to do? They're going to shut down the whole team?
Tampa Bay Rays.
They're not going to play any games?
Yeah, Tampa Bay Rays are the number 1 seed going into the playoffs. All of a sudden, Blake Snell and 2 other guys catch the COVID. Yeah. They have to forfeit the season? That would suck.
So it's,
there's
a lot of questions that need to be answered about it before they can even start a season.
I don't know if
I think this is going to be the things that get brought up about it.
Now, I don't know if this is true or not, but I did see an NFL helmet, a concept helmet. Did you see that too?
I saw that too.
Where they're breathing through a ventilator in their helmets?
Yes.
And they looked really cool. But I don't know if that is actual real thing.
Yeah, I had the same thoughts. I wasn't sure if it was real or not, to be honest with you. But
because
as of right now, like you said, it looked pretty cool. Yeah, that's for sure.
Well, as of right now, everything in the NFL is on track.
And
despite 49ers players testing positive for the COVID-19, that was 3 hours ago. But right now, everything looks like they're on track. And the players caught it in Nashville, Tennessee, by the way. They were working out in Tennessee. A bunch of players were.
So that's where they caught it, was Nashville.
Jimmy Garoppolo, Jalen Hurd, Trent Taylor, Brandon Ayuk, and Kyle Jusnick. The fullback. Were among those in Tennessee. We already know about Ezekiel Elliott. He's already caught the COVID. Kareem Jackson, the Broncos safety, already has it that we know of. And there's probably more. There's probably more.
What's the are they sick?
Yeah.
I mean, are these people sick, or do they just test positive for the antibodies?
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you,
because that's something that I'm actually would like to get tested for, just to see if I'm positive with the antibodies and it's not affecting, and I might be immune to it.
A former guest of ours on our show, Hurley Gates, I can say it because she's been going on Facebook publicly stating what's going on with her life. She caught COVID-19, and she says the last 2 weeks have been the worst 2 weeks of her life. It's not only that she can't breathe, but it's affecting her going to the bathroom too.
And what I'm saying from this is there's people that I know that have caught it and haven't felt a thing.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's crazy the way this virus acts within the person.
Yeah, and like Doug Almeida, another former guest, caught it.
And one of the things that I've heard is diabetics, overweight, elderly people mainly have those kind of things involved with them. Vitamin D deficient. If you are any of those things, you got a good chance to catch that and really get sick from it. And if you're not any of those things, then you're pretty much. You're just going to feel like you got the flu or whatever. That's what I've heard mainly about it.
All right.
So, I mean, like I said...
Let's just assume that football is going to happen, and there's going to be a season, and everything's going to be just dandy in the NFL this year. So if that's the case, let's talk about the latest in the NFL. And the latest in the NFL does involve a little bit of some Bucs news. I don't know how they can actually afford this, but the Jets' Jamal Adams has the Bucs on his trade destination list. He requested a trade. He wants out of New York, and he wants to get back together with Todd Bowles, the defensive coordinator. Yeah. I don't feasibly see how this could happen without the Bucs having to give up somebody lucrative.
I was just going to say they'd have to give up somebody who makes a hell of a lot of money.
Yeah, and I just don't see that happening.
They're not going to be able to afford his contract just on trading for draft picks.
Yeah, exactly. And that means and when I look at I don't have the numbers in front of me, but I know Mike Evans makes a lot of money.
Yeah,
and the Bucs are stacked at wide receiver.
No, not trading Godwin or Evans.
No, I don't see it happening either. But that's the only feasible way I can see it happening.
If that's the case, then you know what? We keep what we got and we roll with it. Yeah, and we'll get better, just like we did last year. We got better.
I just feel like Jamal Adams has.
I don't want Jamal Adams. I'm not a fan of it.
he's a good defense. He's a good safety.
He's good.
That.
Yeah, no, he's good.
But
he's good.
I just feel like
I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of.
I feel like he has no leverage other than holding out.
Yeah, and but I'll be honest with you, I'm not a fan of it because, like I said, there's no guarantee he's going to come in here and be a good player.
Yeah, yep.
And I like the way the Bucs have been moving. We just drafted, like I said, talked about Winfield, the safety out of Minnesota. We're good.
Yeah.
I don't feel like we need another safety back there right now. I'm good with what we got. I want to see these kids progress and see where they go next year.
Well, he has a list, and he has a list.